Hey everybody, and welcome back. Oh, it feels like it's been a minute since I've been on here. Like, I want to say a little bit after we got back from New York, I was just working a lot and then I got sick and then I lost my voice. My voice was gone for like, well, it was almost a week because there were like 5 or 6 days. I literally, you know that like point when like people are going through puberty and the voice like squeaks for a minute? It was literally like that with every single word I was saying. So this is like the first, yesterday was okay. This is like probably the first day I felt comfortable enough where it's not too bad. I still sound a little bit nasally, but I wanted to get on here and do my yearly favorites because these are my favorite videos to watch. I love those and like try on hauls. So favorites and try on hauls are my two favorites, but I wanted to get my yearly favorites up. I kind of compiled it, so I'm not going to do it in any specific orders, kind of just like condense it because like as a whole I find myself gravitating towards like more things that are, it's just like a smaller group of things, and then I rotate it out kind of sort of to where I try and use as much as I possibly can. But anyway, without further ado, I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it and start off with my weird favorite, and then we can just go on to the normal stuff. I know that I've mentioned this before, but I have to throw it in there because I literally had so much of this year, and since it's still cold I will continue to have it. It is my Republic of Tea, the ginger peach black tea. I get mine at World Market, but you can also order it on Amazon.com. I think that they might even have their own website, the Republic of Tea. This is just such a really good flavored tea if you like anything slightly fruity and you're a fan of black tea. They also have green tea, so if you're not a fan of caffeinated teas, they have the green tea version as well that does not have caffeine. But this is just the best smelling and the best tasting tea ever. Oh my goodness. Okay, and then next to that are my favorite blushes. This is kind of weird. This was like the first year, or that was like 2016 was the first year I really didn't go for more like colors with my blushes. Normally I'm a peachy type of girl. I mean, mind you, these are like, these can be, no, these aren't even peachy, so I don't know. So this is really weird for me. I went more with more neutral tones this whole year, kind of just, I don't know, changing it up a little bit. But my two favorite, one is drugstore, the other one is regular, which makes me so sad because the first ingredient in this one is something I'd rather not use. But anyway, I didn't start thinking about that until recently. So it's the Wet n Wild Ombre blush, and this is in the shade the Princess Daquries, or Daquries, whatever. It is just an ombre blush. As you can see, it gets kind of like a rosy to like a neutral, slightly warm peachy shade, but these two just blended together makes such a pretty blush shade. I think that ombre just kind of helps to balance out so stuff when you're using blushes isn't too intensely pigmented, and it kind of makes it look a little bit more natural on the cheeks, which I like. Those are super
affordable though, so I haven't had any problems with those. And the other one is from Tarte, and it is the 12-hour Amazonian clay blush, and this is in the shade Risque. This is such a pretty shade. I have the exposed from this line as well because they did like their nudes blushes, but this is just like a really nice, slightly like, it's like a beige with a hint of like dusty rose in there. It's just like a really nice neutral shade of blush. And then for kind of condense this because this was like my all-around favorite kit this year, and it was just the Tarte's contour palette, the original. I know they have 2 more now besides this one, but this one was just my go-to all year long. So as you can see, my like banana shade is completely gone. I would use that to set underneath my eyes. And then the white shade, I started using those two together and mixing it to set under the eye. Mine, but the weirdest thing is, like, you know how some have that film and it makes it harder to use? I felt like mine was like that all the way down. It's still not very smooth even on the side that's still there. And then the nude, I don't know, I guess it's like a neutral shade. I would use this actually to set my face for a while there, but it started looking pretty peachy, so I stopped doing that, and I would kind of just like dab a little bit in the inner corners of my eyes and just kind of like make them look a little bit more awake and open. So I still like that one. Blush is such a pretty color. I'm not like a bronze your entire face type of person, so clearly these are going to last me a lot longer because I don't use nearly as much of them. But these are great separately as well as blended together on the face. They just have like more of like a neutral undertone versus being warm. Yeah, I'd say they're more neutral. They do have a hint of coolness to them, but they're just really, really nicely blendable shades. So this is really good if you're looking for like an all-around kit to travel with. This did me so much justice this year. It was well worth the money, and it has a mirror in there, so good to travel with. And could just go and grab something else. Okay, I know I've said this, and I'll say it again. I don't wear lip liner very often, but when I do, it is these two have been my go-to this year. It's the Kylie Koko K liner, which is just a nice neutral shade, and then as you can see, it's just like a nice peaky. I like pinky nudes. Those are my kind of nudes. I don't really do like beige nudes just for my skin tone. Pinky nudes just kind of complement them a little bit better. And then the Charlotte Tilbury lip sheet in the shade Pillow Talk, which is right here. It's a little bit more of like a mauve shade, but they're both in that neutral family, and there's just the two that I would find myself consistently grabbing this last year. And as for lips, I kind of wanted to just narrow it down. I didn't want to sit here and pull out all the colors I like because there's a ton. So I really wanted to go on formula. So my two favorite liquid lipstick brands, formula, have been Jouer, which is just great. I kind of just discovered myself personally Jouer this year, and I've just been kind of blown away. This shade in particular is my absolute favorite from Jouer. It is Orchid. It is like my perfect pink that's not overly bright, and it just has like a hint of lavender, which is why I love it so much, because I love lavender. This is more wearable. As you can see, it's just like a nice, really mildly pigmented pink. And my second favorite brand / formula has been Givemeglow. I've purchased so many of the shades from her this year. I kind of tapered off there towards the end of the year because she just wasn't releasing quite as many new shades. But this shade in particular is really pretty as well. This is called Oh My Nudeness. She does a lot of dupes for popular colors in other brands. So if you don't support a specific brand and you want to dupe, there's a possibility she'll have it. It's just a nice color. This isn't necessarily my perfect or my favorite one from her, but it's just like a really, really pretty one. These both have like kind of that sweet, cakey scent, this and the Jouer one, but this is just a really nice formula for an indie brand. These are only $13, so it's not incredibly cheaper than all the other brands, but it is a bit more affordable. And then as for lipstick, I just have one. That's kind of my thing. I kind of want to start using more lipstick this year, but my go-to absolute favorite, hands down, Kat Von D Lovecraft. This is my jam. I had to pull it out of my car because stuff that goes in my car I don't tend to talk about because it never comes out. Like, it stays in there so I could use it every day, or like when I forget something, like it's just there. So this is everything, and I'm so excited she's coming out with a liquid lip version of this. Not that I'll ever stop using the lipstick because this is just so creamy. That's what that looks like right there. It's just, as you can see, like I'm just like an overall like pinky undertone of things, even though this is a little bit more like mauve-y. It still has hints of pink in it, and it's just the most amazing formula. It's like a matte, but it's a creamy matte, and it's just so long wearing and pigmented and creamy and comfortable. I cannot say enough about Lovecraft. So if you have not tried it, you need it. You need it. It's good. And lastly, for lips, this is like my favorite like lip balm, if you will. It's the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Lip Quench in the shade Nude. I got the travel size of this and I liked it so much. It actually lasted me a long time, so I didn't have to purchase the full size for a while. But it's just like a really nice like sheer tint. Normally I'm not into sheer tints, but I like this one. You're probably not going to be able to see it because it's so sheer, but it's right there.
It's basically my lip color but better, so when it goes onto my lips it just enhances the color of them and they look really glossy and like really dewy, and it's such a creamy formula and it has like a minty feel to it, which I personally like. It's not overbearing though, it doesn't make your lips tingly, it just has like a slight nice minty feeling and they just feel really really hydrated and I love the color. So if you're looking for a new lip balm, they do have other shades. They have like an opalescent one which is like clear, so if you don't want any color at all, but Nude just really enhances like the lip color, so I recommend this. It's really really nice. And then I know I've been seeing this in everybody's favorites, but it's going to be in mine as well, just because it truly was a great palette. Regardless of if it had been hyped as much or not, I still would have purchased it. And it's just the Anastasia Modern Renaissance. I know you've seen this a million times. This is the first palette I've ever bought where I enjoy every single one of the shades. There's always at least one shade where I'm like, why is that shade in there? I won't ever use that, or more than likely I never will. But this just has every single color, so it's what I've been taking if I go anywhere or kind of just like keep right next to me. So this is my go-to, especially these four right here, just great for everyday color. But then I love burgundies and browns, and this color speaks to me. It's so pretty. So it's great. I mean, you've heard a million things about it, but this whole entire color selection is beautiful. It wears amazingly, and it's just it's everything I need in a shadow palette. Let's see. This is new for me. I've never been into cream stuff, which I'm having to delve into lately because my skin has been so dry. I hate it. It kind of makes me it makes me miss my oily skin. So anyway, I've been delving more into creams. So for my cream contour, I haven't even been setting it with a powder lately, which is what I have on today. It is the Anastasia cream foundation stick, and this is the shade Shadow, and it's just one of the contour shades. This is perfect for my skin tone. It's very neutral slash cool toned, which is what I need. I hate anything warm tone. Clearly that's more of a bronzer, but I tend to lean for more of the cool tone, and it's just beautifully finished. Even though my skin is dry and this is catered more towards oily skin, or the foundation line I should say, it still sits beautifully on me. I just don't set it. So this is just cream by itself. It's only $25, so I feel like it's really affordable. It's lasted me a while, and I really really like the wearability even if you don't set it. And brows, I just picked out two things because brows are the bane of my existence. My brows actually are the bane of my existence, so I'm constantly switching out which products I use. 98% of the products I use for my brows are from Anastasia though, so it's just like brow favorite brand. But the clear brow gel I use every single day, just a really good all-around formula. And then not from her is the Essence Make Me Brow. The first half of the year I was only using my Benefit Give Me Brow, which I'd been using for like years now, but I saw this and it's like a fraction of the price. Benefits is like $25. This is only $3, and it is the Essence Make Me Brow. They have two shades. This is the darker, and then they have like a light blonde shade. I've purchased several of these. I cannot say enough. This is almost an exact dupe. I use this as well every single day, and it's $3. You cannot go wrong. So if you like a fiber brow gel, this is amazing. It lasts a really long time. I know it looks tiny, but it lasts such a long time, and I cannot recommend this enough if you like fiber brow gels. Concealer, you already know. Actually, I had two. I just don't have the empty bottle anymore because I finished it a long time ago. For the first half of the year, I was using the Instant Age Rewind concealer, the one with a little like poofy ball that you click up and it comes out of that. That was what I was using, and I really like that. I mean, if I was on a budget and I had no money and just like enough to get like drugstore like concealer, I would definitely go for that Instant Age Rewind. Talking so fast. Instant Age Rewind concealer. It's just really really good formula. But since this came out, I was able to get this on the first like initial release, so I didn't have to wait for the restock, and I've been using it ever since. It's the Shape Tape Clearly. I use the shade Fair for under my eyes. I want to get a couple more shades. One, just because I want something a little like the shade down, so it's a little bit darker than this one, and I want to get something that matches my skin tone so I can kind of just like spot correct
with that as well, but this formula is great. The only thing that I have noticed is, since my skin has been a little bit drier, the formula dries on my skin quicker because it has no extra like moisture on there to keep it wet while I'm going to blend it in, because I normally put dots on both sides and then blend it, but lately I've been having to just do one side and blend it so that way this side's not dry by the time I get around to it. Other than that, this is a great formula. Everybody else has said it, I say it, it's just good. Let's see what else. Foundation all year long. It's been like this for over a year. Elcie Micro Silk Foundation. It's so good. I use the shade Cameo. When it's the summer, I go a little bit darker and I get vanilla, but this is just an amazing, amazing, amazing formula. I have been using something a little bit different. I have been using a cream because I've been that dry, and I've been liking that, so maybe you'll see that in next month's favorites, depending. I mean, I've been using it the last like 2 weeks and I've been enjoying it, so we'll see, but this is an all-around favorite. This actually took my Chanel Vanilla Lumiere Aqua foundation spot for my Holy Grail. I've been using that for so long, but the ingredient deck in this is better, and it just, I really enjoy this foundation. And then as for makeup application, this is hands down the best sponge. I really liked the Beauty Blender. The only thing is I have like just natural nails, and when I go to clean it, I don't think that I'm necessarily rough, but I would always get like nail marks where I'm holding it and it would start to rip and end up like this one, like with no top, because it would just like rip off, and that bothered me because it was like $20. Like Beauty Blenders are $20. That's insane. So this one has been everything I could ever ask for. It is the Morphe, the Flawless Sponge. I've watched this multiple times and I have not yet, I don't want to jinx myself, gotten any like little lines where my nails have gone into it, and I washed everything the exact same way. And this just is a little bit more soft. There's not quite as much, it doesn't feel as porous as the Beauty Blender does. It's just a little bit more dense, which I do prefer as well. It's just amazing, and this is only like $8. It's like $7 or $8. You cannot go wrong with this sponge if you're looking for a new one. I can't recommend this one enough as well. Highlighters. Man, I could have just pulled out my entire drawer and been like, yearly favorites, highlighter only. But I picked 3, so that's okay. Artist Couture in the shade Illuminati. This is just stupid beautiful. It's so pretty on the skin. It kind of looks like liquid white gold. It is just stunning. I normally don't like lean towards loose powder highlighters, but this is amazing. I can't imagine like if he ever like presses it, it'll be like, oh my gosh, stunning, because this is already pretty and it's loose. Oh my gosh. Clearly champagne pop. This is just, it was a shade that wasn't out, or it was a shade that nobody knew was out by other brands, but this is just such a pretty all around shade. It's so nice. I have a backup and I bought all the palettes with it in it, so I have enough champagne pop to potentially last me a lifetime. And then the last highlighter favorite is from Jouer. Citrine. So strange though. I wish I could, I don't really want to do a close-up because it just seems pointless. This is so like delicate though. I will not travel with this because I will be so sad if it breaks. But even just kind of using my brush as it is, just lightly dusting it in there, it kind of like, it looks crumbled in the pan, which is really strange. But this anyway, besides the point, this is such a beautiful wet looking highlight. This literally looks like your cheeks have been like kissed with like water that's like ultra reflective. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. It does enhance texture a little bit, but to be completely honest with you, I feel like majority of highlighters do that depending on your like how much texture you have. But that's just a beautifully well made highlighter. Only a few more things left, so I'm gonna go into skincare. I just picked up my very most essentials. I get this from my esthetician. She I don't know if they sell this anywhere else, but she has her website where she does sell this on there too, so I can link that. But it is just the High Med Original Reconstructive Cream. It's technically for psoriasis, eczema, and severe dryness. I kind of just have the severe dryness right now. I don't have the other two. For the first half of the year, because I started using this
I want to say it was like April-ish of last year, and I would only use it at night because it is very, very hydrating. It's kind of like a gel cream, but this is incredibly intensely hydrating. So I didn't necessarily love it. I was using it every night, but I was still oily at the time, so I didn't necessarily need that much hydration. But since I've been more dry, this has been saving my life. Not only do I use it at night now, but I use it at the daytime, because if I don't, I get like flaky. And for somebody who's grown up their entire life having oily skin, this is a whole new world and I hate it. And I feel so bad for everybody that has dry skin out there. This is insane and I feel like such a baby because I can't stand it. But this saves my life. I put this on and it just hydrates me almost overly, so that way when I put my makeup on, it doesn't cake and stick to dry patches and flake off, and by the time I get off work look like a nasty gooky mess. So this is amazing, and I think it's like under $30, so it's super affordable. It's a huge tub. Like I said, I've had mine since like April or something like that, and I'm just like barely under the halfway mark. I don't know if you can see where it's at in there, but it's like in there. It's such lifesaver if you have dry skin. And all-time favorite makeup remover, I mentioned this last year, I will mention it probably every other year, Clinique Take the Day Off Balm. I've tried other ones and it just does not hold a candle to this. I either have to use too much to do the exact same thing that a little of this will do, or it feels too oily after, or it's too expensive and you get less product. Nothing that I've tried has ever made me not go back to this at the end of the day. It holds so much product. I mean, you get 3.8 ounces. I've had mine for like at least 2 months at this point, and it's just now like halfway gone. It's amazing. It's only like $30, and I use this every single day to take off my makeup. Last, holy grail, holy grail, holy grail. Mind you, what this does for me, it might not do for everybody else, but this has been such a blessing. It's the Nude Acne Clearing Solution. This saves me so much. I discovered this by accident. Like I had like a little packet, like a trial one, and like one day like I ran out of what I normally use, so I was like, well, whatever, I'll just try this, and it worked so well, just like the sample packet that I went out and I bought the full size. This is an expensive product. Nude is an expensive brand, but I do not care because this is amazing. It actually helps my breakouts come to a head so that they can get taken care of, versus I would get like the hormonal ones that, I mean, I still do get a little bit of hormonal ones, and they would never come to a head, and they would stay for like just like raised under my skin for like a month, and it was so frustrating for me. That this has been a lifesaver. As you can see, it's down to here now. When this runs out, I will 100% repurchase this. I did recently order another Nude product to help with the spots, like to reduce the redness and irritation. So I'm really, really hoping that that works just as well, because I will be ecstatic. And lastly, okay, no, not lastly, almost. Quick mention, favorite eye brushes, hands down this year, has been my Smith Cosmetics brushes. If you are looking for good eye brushes, I mean, I'm just pulling out random ones, but I love them all. They just have the most innovative shapes, blend so well, they do not shed, or they hardly ever shed, and it's just like beautifully made brushes. I keep these when I travel, when I do my makeup, just Smith brushes for my eyes. Morphe, I love those for my face. So different things, different brands. Lastly, I've never mentioned this on my channel because this also lives in my car. I've had it for over a year and I use it every single day. I go somewhere, I spray it right before I get out of the car. This is why it's in the car, so it reminds me to spray it because I'll forget. It is the Allure Home Sport by Chanel. This is a men's cologne, and I have such a hard time finding good perfumes that don't change on my body chemistry that a lot of the times I'll just lean towards men's scents because they don't change on me and I get so many more compliments. Like, this is my signature scent now. Like, when I go into work, people are like, I know that it's you before I even see you because I can smell you. This is just the most amazing. Ugh, I love the way this smells. It is masculine, duh, it's a cologne, but it's just beautiful, and it's like, packaging is great. This is like a magnetized lid, so, or
Okay, it didn't do that right then, but it is. And it's just, I can't even describe the smell, but it's really good. So if you ever are interested, go into the cologne department and smell. They have Allure and it's in a clear glass. I prefer Allure Sport. This is a little bit more, it has like slight citrus notes in it, which I do tend to prefer in female scents as well. But this is amazing. And I mean, I can't see you where it's at, but I feel like it's like about halfway gone at this point, and I do use it majority of the days of the week. But that is so good. Oh my gosh. So if you aren't a big fan of female fragrances, go for the male stuff. It's better. Anyway, that is all for my yearly favorites. I hope you enjoyed. I can't wait to start mixing it up and trying different stuff this year. I'd like to be a little bit more, I don't want to say necessarily innovative, but I just want to be a little bit more experimentative, if that's a word at all, with the products I use versus just using the same stuff all the time. I do kind of just want to switch it up with lipsticks, liquid lipsticks, just, I don't know, play around with different stuff and share that on here with you, as well as doing reviews. I do want to focus on that as well. So thank you so much for watching. I cannot wait for it this year, and I hope everybody had an amazing holiday season, and I will be seeing you very soon for my next video. Bye!